Yes, people, welcome back to the first XI. This is the Premier League review, where we're going to be showing you little pictures of what's happened, little clips, and talking it through with the panel, who haven't all arrived yet, but we can't go much later. Do me a favor, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That's really important. We are climbing with every stream, so it really does help. Rachel's going to be talking us through the games, the big talking points she's picked out, and we also want your opinions in the comments, so to let us know, please do that. Rachel, who are we starting off with?
Oh, let me show my screen first. That would be useful, wouldn't it? There we go. Oh, okay. So we're going to start off with the game that was played today. That was Fulham v Burnley. Obviously, Fulham got relegated tonight, which is a shame.
Yeah, gems in the mud.
Did he predict they were staying up?
Yeah, Fulham are too good, you said. They're staying up. Jem, if you're watching, you're in the mud, mate.
Yeah, they play some nice stuff, to be fair. It's just they don't have that extra bit of quality to actually help them stay up. Yeah. Which is really unfortunate.
They're very much too good for Championship, not good enough for Premier League. That's exactly where they are, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is a shame. But going to start off with the first goal. Burnley playing a long ball into Bidra on the left side.
Yeah.
Plays the ball across and Westwood scores. They got in behind quite easily here, obviously, but the recovery wasn't great, and the run made from Westwood to get into the box and actually get onto the ball in quite a bit of space was very impressive. And I said last week on the last show, I feel like Burnley, they're playing a lot better. I think they're playing some better football, not amazing football, if you know what I mean, but they're playing a lot better. They're a lot more aggressive.
They're at their peak of Burnleyness. That's what they are. But instead, Sean Dyche-ish. Yeah,
but yeah, no, it was they were the better side overall. Fulham had a couple of moments, but they weren't, they didn't offer too much. And then obviously the second goal. This is a great finish from Chris Wood.
I like the flick. So Josh Brownhill fires the ball into him, and he tries the little flick. Doesn't come off, gets a deflection, and I can't remember who was it who put the ball in for the volley. I can't remember who it was. But a great volley, great finish.
Yeah, it was.
He definitely meant it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, definitely. It was you like Chris Wood, don't you? Obviously, you take him at United, wouldn't you? If we had no other choice.
I'd take him as a backup striker, as long as we filled our other positions. I'd have no issue with it. I think he offers something different. He's very good in the box. His movement's pretty good. Great heading ability. I think he's underrated when it comes to actually shooting with his feet rather than heading. His link-up play is not the best at all. Yeah. It's not the best. That's where he suffers. But he's the guy. He's the big guy you put on for the last 10 minutes just to be a nuisance in the box. If you're chasing a goal, he's the guy.
But so he's our replacement.
What's that?
He'd be our Fellaini replacement.
Yeah.
That's fair.
The Kiwi Fellaini. That's what we'll go with.
The Kiwi Fellaini. I like that. This incident was really strange. It was the handball incident from Areola. He was outside of his box, and it wasn't given. I didn't watch the second half, to be fair, but a lot of people were saying it was a stonewall handball, and they were really surprised it wasn't given. What did you make of it? If you saw it,
I didn't see it. I'll be honest. I didn't see any of the second half. I saw it on the kids, hence why we're late. Apparently, there's monsters walking around the place. So we've done the monster check a few times with my daughter this evening. So I didn't catch this at all. But I'm sure Prime and Niall, when they get here, will have something to say on this.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. Actually, let us know if you think this was something that VAR missed.
Yeah. If it was a handball outside the box, it makes you wonder why they didn't give it.
Yeah.
It looks here like it would have landed on his hand.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah.
Big up RDS, Mustafa,
Yeah.
always here. Did you guys see Team of the Season? No, I haven't seen Team of the
I haven't seen
Season.
it either, actually. Who do you reckon is going to be in that?
Bruno.
Mm.
I don't really. Bruno has to be in. I think not Aguero, sorry, De Bruyne will be in there as well. I think he'll be forced in there. Mahrez has to be in there for me. I think Kyle Walker's got to be in there. Mason Mount has to be in there.
Sure?
Luke Shaw has to be in there.
Diaz.
Left-hand side, I would think, Diaz, Rashford, Harry Maguire. I'm stuck, really, centre midfield. Gundogan, maybe?
Yeah, he's had a very good season. I would argue that in the Premier League, he's actually performed better than KDB.
Yeah, he's been great this season. He has been, yeah. He's been the silent assassin, hasn't he? He's sort of done all the dirty work, all the hard work.
Yeah.
And got a couple of goals this season as well, so that's great if you're a Man City fan.
I think he's on like 10 plus, maybe. Maybe he's actually on 10. He's got quite a few. I'm pretty sure he's double figures. But
yeah, let me just have a look. Sorry, Shane. Evening, Indiana Rachel. Hope you're good. Great news about Cavani. Yeah, it is good news. Yeah. It is good news. Good evening to my two wise football fans.
Cheers.
I know you're talking about me and Rachel and not Rachel and Prime. Martinez and goal.
I know more about football than you do, Indiana. Let's not speak.
This is true. I take it back. Prime, did you see this? Did you see this though in the Burnley game? Did you watch the Burnley game?
Bits of it.
Did you see this handball? Also called handball.
No, but I can check it out now. Actually.
Yeah, have a look. Because we're not allowed to show the clips, unfortunately.
Let us know. Let us know in the comments if you think this was a red, something the VAR missed, something the refs missed.
Because I've got the highlights up on my part of my screen, so I can kind of see the game.
Do you know what it is though? If it does hit his hand, how does VAR not check that and say that's a handball? You know, do something about it. That's what gets me. If it is actually a handball, like I don't know if there was a reason for it, if they've released a reason for it or anything, but it doesn't
Dean
really
says no, not Prime. He had his prime time the other night. Oh yeah.
Which night was that? Eh? There's so many.
It's not my problem that you guys love me.
Let's move on quickly.
We'll move on to the
can't deny it.
Leeds Tottenham.
Burnley ran rampant, didn't they?
Yeah.
First half they were great. I watched the first half. They were great.
Yeah.
Which is weird. The last few results, they've been scoring a lot of goals. I mean, didn't Chris Wood get a hat trick a few match weeks ago?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're more aggressive. They're more attacking. They're solid still because they still play the same way defensively, but they're more expressing more offensively, which is really nice. Like they get a lot of stick for how they play Burnley. So the fact that they're performing well and they're still solid, they're just a good Premier League side, really, aren't they?
It's weird because they switched from a 4-4-2 to playing a 4-5-1, it seems. But yet they're being quite attacking. Do you think this is a permanent change for next season?
I think because I've watched Josh Brownhill a lot in the Championship, and I think Sean Dyche has finally figured out how to get the best out of him. Because the guy has got an engine. He's better on the ball than most people think he is. He's really good at closing players down and pressing. So again, he's just got a great engine. So if you can give him a bit of freedom to go forwards and get the best out of him, I think that really helps Burnley. Because Burnley work very hard. Don't get me wrong, but Brownhill's just slightly different. He's one of those never say die players. Do you know what I mean? They could be 5-0 down and he'll still be going. He's one of those. But yeah, giving him that bit of freedom helps.
No,
Big fan of your hat, Prime. Not my words. Spurslander.
Oh, you
Got
came
my
at the perfect
popcorn
time.
ready. Spurslander. I've got my popcorn ready. Oh, wasn't
Can
the
I just
mice
say
then.
that Vidra? I think Vidra's looking for the foul very much. However, technically it is because, I mean, technically it is a foul, but Vidra's looking for it. It's very smart play from him, to be fair.
Yep.
That's fair enough. Right, we're on to the
Final
Spurs
score,
lineup.
Rachel, of the Burnley game?
Oh, 2-0. 2-0 to Burnley. I probably should
2-0.
put the scores up, shouldn't I? But yeah, Fulham are relegated, guys, if you don't know. They're 10 points behind.
Gem in the mud.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm
10 points
happy. I love Scott Parker, but he needs to develop away from the spotlight of the Premier League. We don't need Spurs ruining him. So go back Championship. Spend 2-3 seasons in the Championship learning. Come back up and then go manage West Ham.
Yeah, no, that's actually fair, to be honest with you. There's too many managers coming into the job a little bit too early, and it's showing with a couple of them. We won't name them.
I think relegation's a bit like. So if you've coached at all or played football, then you learn more from losing than you do from winning.
Yeah.
So for a manager actually getting relegated, he's just going to look at this as, I've had a shot in the Premier League. I know what I would need in order to compete. He's going to go back down, get the balloon payment, hopefully get some decent players, because let's be honest, he's not going to lose 11 players to Premier League teams because they're not Prem ready, most of those players. So maybe he can keep most of them and get some great additions now, with the balloon payment money, and maybe they'll bounce straight back and you can use it as experience. But I wouldn't sack him. I think he's been good enough to keep his job.
Yeah, I like the fact that he changed things up halfway through the season, and they did improve for a while. It seems like he's quite a flexible manager. He's willing to change things around. He's not stubborn, rigid with what he does, which is a good sign, because a lot of managers are too stubborn. So the fact that he's willing to adapt to a situation is very impressive anyway, to me.
Yeah.
Because most managers aren't like that.
He's in my opinion, he's won the Scott Parker, Frank Lampard. In my opinion, I think he's the best of the three, which probably isn't saying much, to be fair. But
I think it's a bit unfair. I think Frank Lampard did all right. I don't think he done too bad. Yeah, right, Leeds Tottenham first.
No, Lampard did bad. No.
I didn't know a word of that.
No.
Okay.
What was the score in this game?
It was 4-1 for Spear. No, sorry, it wasn't. I was thinking of the wrong game. Sorry, it was 3-1 to Leeds. They go ahead. Yeah. It was a strange one, like poor touch from the defender, and it just it goes to Dallas, and he's able to do an easy finish. After, I think it was Hugo Lloris actually saved it from his own player, didn't he? And it came back to Dallas, and he just scored 13 minutes in. Just calamity at the back from Spurs once again. So it was really, really poor from Spurs, to be honest with you. Go on, Spurs.
In first place, I'm watching it now. Aurier gets beat too easily. The cross should.
Is he cutting out?
It's all these stupid little mistakes.
Wi-Fi, man. Can't hear you. Keep cutting in and out.
Again.
Every other word.
Can you hear me now?
Missing every other word.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go on, try again.
Can you hear me now? I think something I've been saying with Spurs all season, these stupid little mistakes. That ball that gets played in shouldn't come in the first place. Aurier shouldn't get beaten that easily. So it's these stupid little.
You're finding with these fullbacks, they tend to the amount of crosses that go in against certain types of fullbacks, like especially the ones that are very good attacking, they don't seem to understand. Like when you're a fullback, traditionally your first job is to sort of stop a cross and deal with the opposition winger, right? But so many fullbacks now, because there's an emphasis on the attacking side of things, they don't seem to understand how to prevent a cross from coming in. It happens, like, to be honest with you, in certain areas defensively, Luke Shaw and AWB struggle with it. When the ball's getting close to the byline, both of them struggle to deal with crosses. And Luke Shaw's had a good season, but one weakness of his is that for some reason, players don't seem to understand. They don't confront players like they used to. Even with, like, say, you know, when you have centre backs, they're constantly sort of getting further and further away from the player rather than confronting them. They're sort of maintaining space between them. They're sort of dealing with a zone rather than dealing with the player directly. Like, it's quite common.
Wow! I'm sorry. I'm just watching it back. What a calamity! So like just bad. It's just bad. Everything about it is bad. So firstly, the ball in the midfield. Højbjerg's really soft in the tackle, and it's an easy pass out wide to the left. And then it gets played down the wing. Gareth Bale is miles away.
No surprise there.
Ball goes down the outside of Aurier. Ball goes in. Okay, this happens. But Bamford gets from nowhere, comes behind Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer's watching him. Ball comes in the box, gets in front of Eric Dyer. There's no urgency there from Eric Dyer to attack the ball to clear it at all. Bamford gets a touch on it, comes off the keeper, which is weak anyway. And then Reguilon, I mean, he's not going to cost much to keep. He's shocking, absolutely shocking. I'm watching it again from another angle. Ball goes in the box. No urgency. In fact, Eric Dyer pulls himself back and to let the ball go across the box.
Exactly.
He shields it. No, I'm not even joking. He shields it. Wow, I need to watch that back again. That's terrible.
You know, this goal, isn't it similar to the one, well, it's kind of similar. Remember in the North London derby where Aurier was 2-on-1 with Smith Rowe and Tierney? And because Bale didn't track back, the cross comes in anyway, and that's how they concede from it. It's kind of similar to that. Spurs don't.
It was slightly different because it was on the penalty spot, wasn't it? There was all that time on the penalty spot, and nobody at all was picking Odegaard up. I mean in terms of the fact that you don't prevent the cross in the first place. Like Spurs concede from that quite a bit. It's not necessarily about the goal itself. It's the errors that lead up to the goal. They're preventable. But Prime, do you know what it is? Like, fullbacks will get beat. That will happen, right? I've got no issue with that. What I have an issue with, I have an issue with Bamford being here. Sorry, Bamford being here, and then Eric Dyer being here, and Bamford runs across him, round the back, gets in front of him, and then Eric Dyer's watching him and literally pulls his body back to let the ball go across him in front of goal. It's bad.
But the thing is, this has been something that Spurs fans have complained about with Eric Dyer for ages. They always say he's too static.
Looking over his shoulder.
Yeah,
and then he runs off of him. Oh my god, that might be the worst. That might be the worst defender from a centre back I've seen all season. I'm not even joking. It's bad.
Yeah.
Even with that, with Eric Dyer, there must be a reason why he still plays. So as bad as Spurs fans want to claim that he is, why is he still playing? Because they don't have better centre backs.
His option is
Rodon.
Davinson Sanchez and Rodon. Yeah, I don't know why Rodon doesn't get a chance to play. He is one of the younger ones, isn't he? Maybe he's still learning.
Yeah, but he's not necessarily that good yet. So they don't have better centre backs. Why don't they have better centre backs? Daniel Levy, but yet it's still Mourinho's fault that Eric Dyer plays. Like it's madness.
No, that's fair enough, but.
I don't think we should be putting much on Mason. I feel like the club's done him dirty, throwing him into that, especially throwing him into a cup final. You know, how stupid of the club should have kept Mourinho for the cup final, sacked him the day after, win or lose. But to throw Ryan Mason into that, Ryan Mason's not going to make many changes. He's not going to do too much. He's got nothing to lose really in that sense. I think he'll keep it kind of solid to try and keep some sort of I know I was going to say consistency, but that hasn't really, has it at the back. But you know what I mean? Like in the team, everyone knows where they are on the pitch. It's rather than just throw players in. He is playing Dele Alli now, but
Yeah,
I
he had some good
don't.
runs, Dele Alli.
Yeah, the song goal though. The song goal was good, right?
Oh yeah, this is the Dele Alli one. You can see him on the floor here, but ball's played in the middle of the park. Son actually lays it off to Dele Alli at the halfway line.
Yeah.
Dele Alli drives forward, and then he plays it through to Son. It's a nice pass. Like, it comes up for the defender a little bit, but you can see the intent of what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
He knew exactly what he wanted to do there. Good ball and a good finish from Son.
He's very good at that, Dele Alli, sucking the players in. So he sucks you in, slows the game down a little bit, waits for the defenders to get sucked into him, and then the striker runs through the gaps and he plays the ball. So yeah, good finish as well by Son.
Yeah, and he will draw players towards him, like you said, and that gives, like, you don't want to give players like Son and Kane space because they will punish you.
Great finishers. Great finishers.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is something Spurs fans talk about a lot. Do you think Ali should have been given more game time by Mourinho?
The
No.
problem with Dele Alli is that he did have some off-field issues, and he wasn't pulling his weight. Now, obviously, for certain types of managers, there's leeway in terms of, he's too good to be dropped, but for other managers, it's not tolerated at all. So
there's a no-go with Jose, isn't it?
He didn't really fit Jose's system. Like, if you think about it, Dele for me is more of that cam, isn't he? He's that sort of attacking centre mid, and Jose don't really play with one. He ends up playing with like 3 DMs sort of thing, and with like Kane.
That's not true. That's not true, actually. Mourinho's always played with a cam. He's always liked to play a 4-2-3-1 and have that creative player as the 10, always.
But no, Rachel, hard-working.
A hard-working 10, but they were still
Dele's
creative.
not that. Dele Alli's not that. Don't get me wrong. Like he will tackle, and he won't shy out of one. He's an aggressive player, but he's not going to press like, I'm going to say it, Jesse Lingard. I think that's why those links were there. Because I honestly do think Jesse Lingard would have helped that Spurs side. I do believe that, but is what it is.
Well, just look at what he's doing at West Ham, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's true.
Exactly. Okay, so this decision here, like, you can see the line, right? I mean, this is really unlucky for Tottenham. Kane's basically in line with the defender. It's probably just millimeters. Obviously, offside is offside and all that. But it is unfortunate. It is annoying, but offside isn't subjective, sort of thing. So
it's a good finish as well.
Really good finish. And again, Dele Alli involved.
But is it annoying though? Sorry, no, you were saying, yeah.
I'm just tired of these offsides. Like, what
do you mean?
What do I mean?
Offside is offside, though, isn't it?
No, that for
is
me
he though?
Is not. No, I don't.
Is he? I'm looking at it now.
He doesn't look. That's what I'm saying. It is unfortunate because he doesn't look offside, but it's obviously
look at it on the big screen.
But then we've got to judge if the lines are the same length and width, and I mean, I'm tired of these decisions. I mean, what is going on with this?
Do you think give him the benefit of the doubt?
I do.
I would love to give a benefit of the doubt. Like have like a certain measurement that we give because these are ridiculous.
All right, but say you do that. So say the benefit of the doubt is 2 inches. So if I'm an inch and a little bit offside, or if I'm a little bit over that 2 inches, am I not? What?
Yeah, but
carry on.
Look,
if I'm a little bit over that 2 inches, right, then I'm still offside. So there's still, you can't then say, but he's only a little bit, give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, no, because you've given the benefit. The thing is Harry Kane gaining an advantage from having a toenail offside? The simple answer to that question is no. Harry Kane is getting 0 impact and advantage from having a toenail offside? Just because Harry
I
Kane
don't
has
think he is,
size
though. I
8
agree with
boot.
Robert here. I think he's level. I'm looking at it now. I think he's level.
It does look level, yeah.
And level's not offside, right?
No.
This is what I mean with how unlucky this decision is, because they've drawn the line and they still can't separate the two players. Do you know what I mean? Their feet are basically on like the same level. That's why this one's very unfortunate.
Rachel, what did you just say?
Basically, I said
it's not
it's
exactly.
unfortunate. I said it's unfortunate, not wrong. So so he probably, like, the way they probably done it is he's probably like a millimeter offside, right? So yes, he is offside. What I'm saying is unfortunate because it's only a millimeter and they look like they're in line with each other.
I think they're just protecting the linesman there. I'm not going to lie.
I personally don't have a problem with it.
I don't know. I'm not sure how if a defender is stood side on and Harry Kane is making a run forward, they can call that as offside. It's different if it's the other way round. But when the ball's Harry Kane's running from an onside position, it's not like he's coming back and then, there's a little bit of a step over. He's running towards goal. The man stood where the ball's played, so stood side on. You can see the lines level. So if these lines are correct, he's onside because he's not offside, in my opinion.
Well, this is the line they showed on Sky Sports. So that was what they did. They moved it around and they placed it there. That was the final placement for the line. So
I'm seeing one from Match of the Day right now, and it's dead level.
Yeah, just like this one, I assume. So,
yeah, dead level. So he's onside then.
Yeah.
Because if you're not off, you're off, right?
I think he is offside. Look, you can say it's by a fraction. No, you can say it's by a fraction. But if you're offside, you're offside. I don't believe in giving benefit of the doubt.
Then you've got to ask the question of when they've stopped the play for the frame, when the ball's played. There's so many variables with this. You're never going to get a perfect answer. I don't understand how on this planet you can give that as offside. Like I genuinely, and I'm not a Spurs fan. That makes zero sense. Zero sense.
Oh, is it not a decision that could go? Is there not a decision that is it?
Thanks for that, Prime. I wonder what that noise was. Dog.
That is what a dog. That's what a dog sounds like. People. Is it not a decision that could go? Is it not a decision that could go either way? No. Like if it wasn't called for offside, or if it wasn't called for offside, would people complain?
No.
Because again, I have no problem with that. If that happens to Chelsea, I won't complain about it. Personally.
Yeah, but you would have expected it. I wouldn't want that to happen.
Let's say by some weird miracle, I'll get into the Premier League. If that's given against me, you don't want to know the amount of anger that's going to come out of this
Man
mouth.
United now.
Because I'm not a United fan, I'm a Greenwood fan. My boy Greenwood got an goal this weekend. But now, if that's given against me, I'm absolutely raging, and that referee might want a lot of security because I'm going to be asking a lot of questions.
Niall's attacking the refs in the Prem. Okay. Listen, I don't care about Spurs, but I'm not happy about that because I don't want to see that in football. For me, that's onside. That's on. If you're not off, you're on, right? Let me get through a couple of comments here because there's been a few. Let's start with.
Don't bring up that comment. The other one.
Bamford linked to Liverpool. That surprised me. I could see that working. Great performance from the lads. Robert Dodds, Leeds fan, obviously was expecting to lose this game. But Spurs were poor compared to first time we played them. Yes, I agree with that. And also Leeds were very, very good. I would love to be in Rachel's head while she watches a game. I'm curious.
No, you don't. It's a mess. Well, at least with Man United play.
Yeah, I've got the messages to prove that as well. I missed Rachel. I missed Rachel having a breakdown. Again, just listen to her whilst we're watching a Man United game. Spurs were in such a short. Yeah. Okay, I agree. Prime, you're not a doctor.
You don't know that.
If Jose had won a cup with Spurs, I'm sure Levy would have had to pay him more. Well, then that's the club problem.
Yeah, that's the problem in itself.
I don't think that's right. I'm football first. I don't really care about the business. To be fair, though, the front three was in the Championship, and so was Roden. Sorry, would it have been any worse than Dyer?
It's a fair point. But there must be a reason why.
No, his positioning is just shocking. Everything about it. If you're marking the front post and a ball goes across goal, you don't leave it to go through. You attack the ball, put it out for a corner, clear it wide, whatever you've got to do, attack the ball. Parisian. Thank God we didn't buy this guy. They represent a lack of ambition. Oh yeah, but you did get Poch, so that's an issue as well. Watch me get a hat trick against Strong CV. Okay, Val, whatever. It's offside, says Dean. Dean thinks it's offside. Jonathan Kim. Hey, Indiana, where do you rank Cavani in the Prem? Top 5, top 10? I think he's got to be in top 5 this season. Hasn't he broken the record for Manchester United of goals scored off the bench or something in a season?
He's level with Ollie, I think.
The level with Ollie. Okay, well, that's a good player to be level with at Manchester United.
Super sub manager with a super sub player.
Yeah, that's right,
what could possibly go wrong in the Europa League final? You just know that you're gonna be 1-0 down within like the first 10 minutes, and then Greenwood's gonna get a goal, and then Greenwood's gonna make an assist where Cavani then gets the final goal in like the 93rd minute. Also, the Europa League finals on Sir Matt Busby's birthday this year.
Wow.
Oh, it's an omen.
See,
he's not a United fan, people.
I said this at the start. I said it at the start of the season. United winning the Europa League because of when it's being played.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh,
I like your theory. I hope it's true. Even at the time, I said it's level. Now the new is level new is level now the new offside. Apparently so, and that's a Leeds fan saying it.
Mm-hmm.
I know, not Latimus up again. How are we going to measure the advantage after? Great question. He's level to me. What else we got here? What a ridiculous offside. Imagine if they do that in amateur football. Yeah, imagine that. Big up Liam. He's created a no context EFL on Twitter. So please go and follow that. If you follow me or any of us, the First XI, go and give that a follow. They're clipping up the best parts, the funniest moments from the EFL show, and it really is funny. It really is good. You should go and check that show out if you haven't seen it before.
I'll check that out in a bit, Liam. I've been streaming since 6:30, so once I've got off the streams, I'll go check it out. It's not you I've ignored, Liam. It's everyone.
I'm just gonna watch yourself.
Robert Dodd says measuring millimeters on an offside is pointless because you can't measure the millisecond the ball was first kicked. The cameras are not accurate enough. Facts.
That's fair.
A last one from Guna Express. At the end of the day, we know how broken VR is when it comes to offsides. Until they find a genuine way to determine offsides or change the rules, these kind of things will keep happening. Yeah, listen, I'm all for scrapping it. I'd scrap. I don't even like VAR. I hate it. I hate VAR.
You were on about offsides, and I was just about to say scrap offsides. What after you think?
What are you trying to give Timo Werner a chance?
You can't scrap VAR when these are the same. Well, I mean, Werner's in the Champions League final. You can't scrap VAR when these are the same people who are complaining that it needs to be brought into the game in the first place. I think
I don't want to.
The
scrap VAR. I want to scrap the referees.
It's the people who use the tool. The tool is fine. Just the people who use it.
I've already said this. I don't know how many more times I have to say this till the Premier League get through their thick heads. I'm happy to do all the VARs and just be prepared that Jonathan Moss is going to get a lot of verbal abuse from me. That's as simple as that, really. I'll end up abusing referees via VAR. I'm like, how have you given that as a free kick, you donut? I'll say donut to Jonathan Moss, and he'll go, "Oh, have you got me some donuts?" I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Let's keep going. Well, remember to smash the like, people. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Please do that. Right, sorry, Rachel. We've gone off topic again.
No, it's all good. This is the Bamford goal. Starts on the right side. Poor defensive help. Oh, header, sorry. And they didn't win the second ball. It's played towards the left. Obviously, again, Gareth Bale doesn't help out Serge Aurier, left back, makes the overlap, plays the ball in, and Bamford scores. But look at this space in the middle here. There's so much space. Again, players are sort of standing still, just watching. Easy run towards the front post for Bamford, to be honest with you. But just look at the space here. It's shocking. It really is. And again, it's just another calamity defensive moment for Spurs, to be honest with you. Like the one, I actually should have put the image in, but it's the one where I think it was Regulon who actually made the header. Wasn't the greatest header, but
it was Dyer.
Was it Dyer? Oh,
Dyer makes ball goes over the top. Bamford makes the run between the two centre backs. Dyer heads it back to where his centre midfielder should be. It's no man's land. There's nobody there at all.
Yeah.
Leeds pick it up in the middle, play it out wide, overlap around Aurier. There's only 5 or 6 Spurs players in the box, and Patrick Bamford. Wow. Again, they're stood on their heels. He just attacks the space. He attacks the front post.
Oh, it's so simple.
It is. But this is what I mean. It's been happening all season for them, Spurs. Just defensive.
Individual mistakes.
Yeah.
It's
from every individual.
That's what I'm saying. It's not just one individual person. It's just successive mistakes, and no one's sort of making up for it. This whole Gareth Bale thing, this is 2 goals now, where Gareth Bale hasn't tracked back, and a fullback is able to overlap for free.
But Bale always does it. Another reason why Mourinho doesn't play him as much. Bale always does this.
Yeah.
He's not tracking his man, so the right back gets exposed. But Spurs fans want to blame Doherty for that. It's not necessarily his fault.
Yeah, the same thing happened at against Arsenal. Do you remember his part in that game? He was horrendous in that game. He couldn't do anything on the ball, and he didn't help defensively. So there was no point in him even being on the pitch.
But Rachel, he got a hat trick. He got a hat trick against Sheffield United, so it's okay.
Oh, I said this. I can't remember if I said it on one of my streams or on here. I basically said, well, he's found his level then, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Clearly his level is
Argyle?
Would I? No. Well, I'll take Eric Dyer because our centre backs have been horrific, but no, I'm fairly happy in RLNS.
This is really. Sorry, I'm on the next goal. This is really poor. This
the Rodrigo goal.
Yeah, this is Spurs all over this season.
Yeah, this was if I remember correctly, I think it was on the left side in their half. They played it through the centre, and there was a through ball straight to their number 18. Who's the number 18? The one who has the ball in the picture. In this picture here.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was just a simple sort of through ball. The line was really, really high. He was level, funnily enough. He was actually level, as you can see here.
Rafinha.
Yeah, Rafinha.
Sorry, Rafinha.
Yeah, so he's level with Eric Dyer, I believe that is, isn't it? So yeah, he's level with him. Ball's played through, goes into the box, and plays it across to Rodrigo. It was so simple. It was like Spurs' midfield and their right side just didn't exist at all. And look at how high their line is. It's not even in line. It's really poor from them.
Do you know what's mad? So you've got the ball breaks and goes into the middle. From the middle, it gets played out wide to the left, and then you've got Aurier, Højbjerg walking back pretty much. They're just ticking over, jogging, pretending like they're running. They're not sprinting. Bear in mind, Eric Dyer has got Rafinha with the ball to one side, and on the other side of him, he's got Rodrigo open. Regulon, by the way, at the start of this move, from when they lose the ball, is stood on the other side of the pitch on his side, and he is just jogging back. The ball's already broken. It's gone in the middle. The ball's gone into midfield. He starts jogging back. He's carried it. 5 touches, goes out to Rafinha. Another 4, 5 touches. Gets to Rodrigo, and he's still jogging back. No sprinting at all. No urgency at all from the Spurs players.
But even forget Reguilon. You see the guy in the box in the right picture. That's Ndombele.
Oh, Ndombele,
no,
yeah.
the Spurs player Ndombele. Yeah. He could have, watching that goal back, he can do a lot better to help close the man down.
Yeah, they were
make it be a 3-on-2. So it's shambolic from everyone.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's no desire there at all. No desire at all to get back. It is shocking. It's absolutely shocking.
If you look on the left side, I know you said that he was jogging, but obviously these are still images. Oh gosh, my dog's going to start barking in a minute. But yeah, you can see. You can see.
You and Charlotte need to do a show together, man.
But yeah, you can see he's here, and he's made it back, but there's no one else in this box here. There's no one else. It's just three of Spurs' players.
You know it's bad when the referee is tracked back quicker than your players.
Yeah, exactly. It's
no, it was bad. They were all
jogging.
When Rafinha passes that ball, Aurier's not even over the halfway line. That's how bad it is. After Rafinha's carried that ball to the box, I don't think Aurier's over the halfway line. I'll check. I don't want to lie about it. But
no, it's actually good that you're watching, because obviously when I was doing this, I can't remember everything that happens. So I'm so glad that you're actually talking through it when you're watching it. It's quite difficult. But yeah, no, it's just it sums Spurs up, really.
He's the minute the pass is made, he's about half a meter over the halfway line. The fucking right back, by the way. There's been like 12 touches between 3 players. The ball's made 4 passes, 12 touches on your side of the pitch, and you're not sprinting back.
That's horrendous.
Yeah, that's an issue. That's not a managerial problem. That's a mentality issue. That's a real issue.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
It's happened all season, though, hasn't it? So,
To be fair now, Spurs fans are playing the way they want to play. This open attacking football where they concede goals. So
yeah, it's going so well.
No, Prime, I'm not even joking about this. This sort of thing pisses me off. When I see players not running back, I don't like it, because I want to see hard-working players.
Yeah, but Indiana, as long as Spurs are playing attacking, lovely football that is basically reminiscent of Poch, they're all cool. They're all cool. They don't mind.
No, I pay for my Sky, BT, Amazon. I pay for all that. Which in turn pays their wages in a way. The money goes to clubs. So I don't. No,
I hear
it's
you.
lazy.
I mean, these
when you have
Tottenham
11,
fans, they're a different breed of bullshit.
Yeah, they are. Let's move on,
breed.
because we've done 2 games and we're on 45 minutes.
Oh gosh, yeah, okay. Going to move on to the Villa United game.
Greenwood.
Oh yes, this is something we need to talk about.
My boy.
What's like you want to talk about in particular?
Actually, it's a little bit about a player who didn't play. But
are we talking about all these tactical masterclass?
Is that what you're calling it, Prime?
I mean, he's one of the best managers in the league this season. So
the second.
I'm just gonna say one thing quickly. Everyone calls Foden generational, yet Greenwood has the same goal contributions, and he's played less games. So
he's broke the record for a teenager scoring goals for Man United.
I'm just wondering when everyone's ready to have that conversation of Greenwood being generational. I'm ready to have it any day.
Okay, we'll put your name forward, Niall. We'll put your name forward.
We can actually just do a show on like all the generational talents. That would be pretty good.
There
I
won't
think
be
I
two,
think
is
next
it?
gen are doing one. Next gen are doing one in.
This
But
is
we can do
rude.
one as well. Yeah.
Doing what?
Discussing the
Generational
next gen
talents.
talents.
Don't do generational talent. Prime. We're not talking about that. Do not speak on it.
What
Don't
No,
talk-
Yeah.
I'll be
No.
part
No.
of
No.
it,
No.
come
No.
on.
We're doing this. We're doing the show. We're doing the show. Thank you.
Right. Well, I'm just going to ask Indiana, what did you make of the goal we conceded? Obviously, it was a ridiculously good finish, like from Traore. If you look at it here, like it was a very, very good finish. But what did you make of like the just what led up to the goal?
Very soft in the like. So there's before that goal's played, right? Villa broke through through the left hand side of the middle, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Fred's missed a tackle. McTominay's missed a tackle. Lindelof's been soft. Bruno was really soft in a tackle. Greenwood carries the ball out, loses it, gets done by John McGinn. Fred then tries to control the ball, gets flicked up in the air. Fred tries to control the ball and lay it off for McTominay, which was a terrible touch, by the way, from Fred. It was really poor from Fred.
Are we surprised or?
And then McTominay was really weak. He should have just put his foot through it at that point. He's tried to get it down himself to play safe. It broke again to John McGinn, who, by the way, is the most underrated centre midfielder in the league. I have to tell you.
That's fair.
And then the ball gets played through, and what a finish! Maybe Lindelof could have been a bit better. Maybe Lindelof could have been a bit better, but those two passages of play beforehand set the tone. That goal was coming. You play like that, you give the opposition confidence. It was terrible, shocking.
Do you know what was annoying about that?
Great turn though, and great finish. Great.
Yeah, it was a great turn. It was a great goal. Not gonna lie, but like it was a thing where we were dominating the game. Our build-up play was very, very good. The problem was the final third. We just, for whatever reason, the quality of delivery and the lack of movement really cost us, and we just got punished for it, basically. But I don't think at any point in the game we were like struggling, if you know what I mean. I think obviously Villa have some quality players. They're going to have moments, but I think overall we were fine in this game. I think there was a bit of an overreaction from our fan base, if I'm honest with you, when the first half finished.
United fan base overreacting? Nah, that can't be right. That can't be right.
I mean, they were behaving like we parked the bus, or like, you know, like the Crystal Palace away game. It was like, that's how they behaved. It was like, oh, look at this rubbish football. I'm like, what are you watching? We actually played quite well. Not amazing, but we just didn't have the quality in the final thirds for me in that.
Yeah, but they're blinded to that because they're like, oh, it's Ollie's, so they assume that because you've got a double pivot and all that, they just assume. I reckon they don't even watch the games. I reckon they're just like, oh, he's playing the double pivot, which must mean he's sitting right back and he's open for the best, waiting for that individual moment of brilliance.
Well, most teams in the Premier League play a variation of the double pivot anyway, but we're not going to go into that.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? It is the first half of this game was very much quality, but not 100% on it. So they're only like 50% awake. Does that make sense? There were bits of quality, and then it became like a training game for them. They weren't going for the throat. Do you know what I mean? They were just sort of like, oh, it's going to happen. Oh, we lose the ball, we win it back. I mean, there was so much space in the midfield that it allowed our players to carry it a lot. And I think that probably killed our momentum when it came to shooting or creating goal chances. Because then what tends to happen is you get a pass and then you feel like it's easy to go back into the middle. You end up taking more touches, which I think was the difference for the second half. The second half, we moved the ball a lot quicker.
No, but it's not even that. Like the quality of passing was better in the final third. I mean, I remember in the first half there was I think it was a ball from, I think it was Rashford on the left side, but he played it across the face of goal, or was it Luke Shaw? And I think I think it was Luke Shaw actually, because it was Rashford, Bruno, and Pogba in the box, and none of them were in the 6-yard box. None of them were attacking that area when there's a ball gone across the face of goal. You know, if Cavani's there, he scores that. It's easy to happen. But
Rashford's got a history of doing that, hasn't he? It was
our front three do in general.
It was West Brom away. Greenwood puts a delicious ball across the 6-yard box. And where's Rashford? Nowhere to be seen. Like he has got a little bit of an issue that what he needs is he needs sitting down by Cavani going, this box here, you stand there, like run there. Like it's just he's still learning though, isn't he? He's still developing, isn't he? So he's gonna learn it at some point, but it would help if he could learn that pretty quickly for you guys.
I just think, do you know what it is? I just think some players just don't have that, as Indiana would say, instinct. Because for me, like you can see the way sort of Rashford, Martial, Greenwood's actually gotten better at it, but they want to do this thing where they cut in and they shoot. They want to score the spectacular. Usually they score spectacular goals over the simple ones. They don't score tap-ins often because the way they play, they like to just cut in and shoot and do something special.
Rachel is programmed into them now. That's the thing. It's that is their instinct.
Yeah, exactly.
That is their instinct. It's programmed into them. Rashford always takes a touch before he shoots. He likes to cut inside. The same with Martial.
Greenwood's getting much better though. You can definitely tell that he's got a lot of lessons off Cavani and Ollie recently.
He's definitely more confident. He's more confident the last few weeks, which is great to see. But
I think his improvements have been more in terms of his overall footballing ability. So not specifically what he does as a striker. Like we've spoken about this before. His wing play is a lot better than Greenwood. Like,
do you think that's because he's had time up? Do you think that's because he's had time as a striker, so he knows what? So when he's been playing on the wing, he doesn't necessarily know what the strikers want him because he's not played there for such a while. Do you think him having that time of being exposed up top, knowing what he's now wanting as a striker, he's now able to move that to his game as an inside forward on the right? Because then he's like, well, I want it there, so that's where I'm going to put it. Do you think that might have helped?
I personally think it's because in the academy where he played just as much, if not, I could be wrong in saying, but I think more games from the right hand side than he did up front. But he played with a natural striker, so he's looking to put balls in the box. A lot of the time, you'll see our wide players cut the ball back into midfield because there is no movement, which is why we have been easy to defend against at times. Where now that Cavani's in there, his movement drags players around. It allows players like Bruno to break, or it allows Cavani to get at the end of the ball. So he starts to put the crosses in. Cavani's actually, we've seen it in the game, didn't we? 3 or 4 games back, I can't remember who we're playing. And Greenwood had the ball on the right-hand side, and he took 2 or 3 touches and then decided to cross it in. And Cavani had a go at him and said to him, no, put it in first time. Next time the ball came to him, he crossed it in. Exactly. So Greenwood's learning. He is learning it, but it's hard.
Yeah,
I think it's hard when you're a young player. You come in at this level when you're under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And then you have different styles of strikers play up top, or strikers and people covering the striker position, whichever way you want to look at it. But this is why I wasn't angry at Cavani coming in, because we needed an actual striker in front of him. We had to get a proper striker in front of him for his development. That was important. And now we've got one. I think it's great for Greenwood.
No, I hear that. I don't think the fans were angry that we got him, in the sense that I think it was the way it happened. He came in, got given the number 7, which was expected for a certain Jadon Sancho. It was a panic situation in terms of we got him on the last day of the transfer window when he was available for how many months prior. It was the way it happened. And the fact that we're in the transfer market. But he's 34 years old as well, and a lot of people
35, isn't he?
Well, at the time he was 34, I guess, but he also had injury issues, and it was a risk as well. I don't think anyone denied his quality as a player. I think it was more of
they did though. No, really? We heard so many things like, he played out wide on the right and the left when Zlatan was there. He's not a good enough striker. PSG didn't want him. He's too injury prone now. His body can't cope. He's not even that good. He'll never be able to do it in the Premier League. I heard all these things. Honestly, it was literally me and Aaron, Mr. Aaron United, that
he's a big one.
in the sort of like Twitter space that we're kind of all in. were saying about Cavani. I was angry at the way the deal was done. I was angry at him being given the number 7 shirt to try and appease the fans. I thought that was taking the piss. I wasn't angry at Cavani coming in on a free. Because I know how good his movement is. At the very worst, if he doesn't score goals, he will create chances for other players, for our midfielders.
At least he's broken the curse of your number 7 shirt, because that was an heck of a curse it had on. But did you also notice that after Cavani gave Mason Greenwood a bollocking for taking too many touches, Mason Greenwood learns from that pretty much instantly and puts in a delicious cross on top of Cavani's head. Like you can tell that. You can definitely tell that Mason Greenwood and Cavani are building quite a good relationship, and if you can get that carrying on, that's going to be quite deadly, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, no, Greenwood's progressed really well this season. I think a part of it is also because he did have to change things up. We saw at the end of last season, he did the whole cut in and shoot thing, but he's a much better finisher than Marcus Rashford and Martial. So it's a thing where he was always dangerous when he did that. And I think defenders learned that and stopped him from cutting in. So he had to go down the right side more. And he's improved because of that as well. Do you know what I mean? He's been made to like, what's the word I'm even looking for right now? He's just been made to adapt to the situation and learn to do something different.
He's matured into the role. Definitely matured into
Definitely. This is the penalty incident. Don't know what you guys thought about this. I thought this was a penalty. I don't know why there was so much fuss about it. I mean, Douglas Luiz basically attacked him multiple times when Pogba got the ball in the box, and then eventually Paul Pogba dropped to the ground. But you can literally see here he's impeded him anyway. And that's just the last touch. There were multiple before that, and Paul Pogba tried to stay on his feet. So I don't know whether...
I think with...
What the hell was that?
Well, I'm trying... Don't laugh, I'm trying to speak. I think because Pogba doesn't go down... Because he doesn't go down easily on the first challenge and he stands his ground and he keeps fighting... I mean, it is a penalty, but some people would say it's a bit of a... I mean, if Pogba goes down easily on the first challenge, then people would say it's a dive. But the fact that he stays on his feet and fights for it, and then he goes down anyway, some people will say that he's just looking for the penalty because he can't play his way out.
But yeah, that a problem?
I do think it is a penalty. For who?
Well, because what I'm saying is, right, Pogba does really well in the box. He collects the ball in the box, right? When Bissaka puts the ball in, he drives into the box. Had a great touch. He's holding the ball up. The defense is then settled in. They're all in front of the goal. He's had a couple of niggles at Pogba. I think Pogba's well within his rights then to go down, because it's not just one play for the penalty. Why not? You're 1-0 down.
Yeah, but he's also tried staying on his feet. We want players doing that. We want them at least trying to stay on their feet, and if they can't, then they go down. But also, it's called being smart. It's called having football intelligence. Look at the prime example is look at Jesus and Gilmore. Now, Jesus knows that Gilmore is a young player who's not experienced. What does he do? Cuts across and gets a penalty. It's intelligence. It's being smart in the box.
Yeah. I agree with it. But it is soft though, to be fair. But again, like, I'm not complaining because it's intelligent. It's intelligent play from Pogba, and he tries to stay up. So it's one of those things. It's soft, but if it wasn't given as a penalty, I don't think United fans should complain about it because it. Yeah.
What, really? Like Douglas Luiz is coming from behind, doesn't get the ball, and Paul Pogba falls down.
Kobe, it's not a debate.
It is a bit.
It's primed. It's been primed.
No. But look, it is a penalty. But if it's not given, I wouldn't personally if this was the other way around, I know United fans would be complaining, saying it's not a penalty because the guy stays on his feet and then he goes down anyway. It's soft.
That's the same with most decisions, though. Like, especially these sort of. Is it soft? Yeah, probably. But that's the same with any soft penalty. You can make an argument for either side. That's why it's called a soft penalty. Like, is it a penalty? Yes. Like, just we need to get away from this whole soft penalty, hard penalty, whatever. is it a penalty? Yes or no? That's how we've got to ask these questions, because soft penalty is just, it's a penalty, but it could be argued either way. Like, we just need to get away from a soft penalty and just go, is it a penalty? Yes or no? Keep it very simple, especially for football Twitter. They need things very simple on there.
You're not wrong, to be honest.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, Bruno scores his penalty.
Yeah.
Can't expect anything less from Bruno. He's going to score the penalty.
It's okay if he doesn't score it, VAR will pull it back and let him have another go.
Yeah.
And this goal started off for, I think it was Aaron Bissaka, plays a ball inside to Greenwood, one touch, turns, goal. You're not gonna,
really good. He's central. He sees the gap opening up. Wan-Bissaka on the ball's looking for the pass. He sprints over to the right hand side and rolls the defender, and first time shoots with his left foot, and that's what I want to see. Instinctive shooting. Brilliant, clinical, great finisher, Greenwood. He's our best goal scorer by a mile. He's a better finisher than Cavani. That's a fact. Cavani's
is it
not
mad
a clinical striker.
he's the best finisher in the league? I think he's the best finisher in the league.
You think he's better than Aguero?
Yeah, because Aguero is more. Aguero's not a tapping merchant, but Aguero's sort of like, he's very smart. So I don't think Aguero scores these types of goals. I think Greenwood is the best finisher in the league. There is I don't even think there's a debate about it. I think other players are better in certain aspects of being up front. But I think if we're looking at just finishing, I don't think there's anyone that even laces Greenwood's boots.
Not even Harry Kane?
No. There's a lot of... Harry Kane is really good at like link-up play and holding the ball, doing all of that stuff. He's really developed into that. But I think when it comes to finishing, I just think Greenwood's the best there is. I just don't think there's anyone better.
Yeah. Well, at the end of this, actually, there's a list for the Golden Boot, and you're going to see stuff. You're going to see their stats, actually. Harry Kane's sort of shot conversion and all that. You're going to see at the end.
But what about Gabriel Martinelli?
Oh, crimes. Come on. Stop twerking for Arsenal fans now.
That's
Crime, you're loved by the Arsenal lot, aren't you?
He's like, yeah. Come on, what's next?
Oh, it's the Cavani goal. Great crossing from the right side towards it by Marcus Rashford, sorry. And Cavani movement from the left side, running into the centre. Just fantastic, really. Like, it was a really good delivery from Marcus Rashford and great movement from Cavani. Literally runs from the left side. I mean, I think if I remember correctly, when I was watching it, in the time that Cavani makes his movement from the left to the right, like to the centre, sorry, Paul Pogba hasn't moved. I don't know if you're watching it.
Rashford takes one step. You know that, right? When the ball's played from Luke Shaw to Rashford is stood completely still. He takes one step, and then crosses the ball into the danger area. So the ball goes from Luke Shaw. Comes back to Fred. Cavani started making his run, cuts inside.
Who's this? I'm on to you. All right, Igal. Ooh, sorry. Sorry. Continue.
Fred plays the ball. Sorry, Fred plays the ball to Rashford. Rashford's touched it out of his feet. In that time, Cavani has darted across the box and then moved inside towards the goal. And Rashford has just literally lifted it. Great cross, great finish.
Yeah, great movement.
Great movement. That was a perfect centre forwards goal. It was just brilliant. We used to see Alan Shearer score goals like that with his head. He was great, Alan Shearer, running off the shoulder. It was brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
The question is, can Cavani do it on a cold night in Stoke? That's the question.
Good job they're not in our league anymore, innit?
Do you think? I think if United make their signings next season, in my personal opinion, I mean Chelsea are my favourites, obviously, but I think United will be my dark horses for the league.
Well, I've said this. I've
That's
said this
too
for ages.
much. That's too much.
No, it's not. If you get a centre back, a DM, and a right winger, I put United as favourites. And I know it sounds yeah. It sounds completely bonkers, and I'm gonna get accused of all sorts. Right?
Even
there's
when
madness behind.
signings.
1 minute. There's madness behind this logic. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done this with Fred and McTominay in midfield. I mean, first of all, that doesn't get enough respect in itself. Like the fact that he can do this with that in midfield is unheard of. I don't even think Fergie does that, to be brutally honest. But also the amount of times United have come back, the amount of times that is winners' mentality straight away. Like, and this title race, even though it hasn't been much of a title race, this would have taught Ollie so much going into next season. If you land your targets early in the window and you give Ollie what he needs, I think Ollie can go on and win this.
That's a bold statement.
It's between United and Chelsea. That's all I'll say.
But no,
you don't think Man City are involved in that?
What if everyone else?
No, they're gonna drop out because if they don't get a striker, I think they're sort of. I think they're not getting found out, but I think people are working out how to defend with them not having a striker now. So yeah,
I think City and Chelsea are both get a striker.
Wait,
We'll be in trouble.
what if you're saying if Man United do their business? What if Chelsea also do their business as well as City?
I think
what United think.
I think. Well, I've said that Chelsea will be up there. I've always said that. I think it'll be between United and Chelsea. Either one will win it. I don't think City will win it. Really, don't think City will. I think it's between Tuchel and Ollie, which is mad. I know it sounds mad me saying it, and if it comes out to be true,
you are a United fan, aren't you, Niall?
If it comes out as true, I also want apologies for absolutely anyone that doubted me, because my football knowledge is different levels.
Let's move on. Who's next?
Oh, this is the Ollie Watkins incident where he got sent off. To be honest, when I first saw this, I thought it was a penalty. But obviously, I think it was from the other angle. It like Dean Henderson actually pulled his leg away, and Watkins died. And he got sent off for it, and the game ended 3-1 United. So good win for United, and move on to the next ridiculous fixture list and all that.
Yep.
I think the penalty incident, it's not a penalty. I think Watkins there, he's trying to be a bit smart and look. Okay, he's trying to be a bit smart and look for it. He's trying to be a bit smart and look for it for the pen. But again, I've seen them given, so I understand why he did it, but it's like, this is what I hate in the game. I don't like the diving, and it needs to be stomped out, in my opinion. But it is what it is, and it's intelligent play, so I can't really. Everyone does it, so I can't really complain about it, can I?
Yeah. I think the difference with this one though is that Dean Henderson does pull his leg out, and doesn't actually make contact with him. Whereas, like when you look at the Pogba one, there's multiple incidents of contact, and in the one where Paul Pogba, actually falls over, there's contact from behind. So I guess that's the difference. It's all about contact, isn't it? And there wasn't any with this one, so there's no way it should be a penalty. Next game though, Arsenal v West Brom. Obviously again. Obviously,
Prime's team. Wow. I'm a Spurs fan. I'm a Man United fan. And I'm an Arsenal fan. Brilliant.
I'm a Spurs fan. Come on now.
We know that.
At least we can confirm you're not homosexual. At least
don't discriminate. Don't discriminate. It's fine. We get it. Jose said, we get it.
The fight.
Yeah, so it's Arsenal v West Brom. Obviously, West Brom got relegated this weekend.
Big Sam couldn't save them.
Couldn't beat him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so Smith Rowe scores this one. It's ball's played to the left, played into Saka, who puts the ball into the box. Smith Rowe attacks the ball, and scores his goal. Decent goal from them. anything to add since you're watching it?
Isn't this
I
Smith Rowe's first Premier League goal?
I believe so, but I'm not
But
quite sure.
he's been ripping up the Premier League, hasn't he? What a player!
I think before that though, Saka's got a penalty. Saka should have had a penalty in this game.
Oh, I actually missed that. I didn't watch this game.
So I think it's Phillips. Phillips just wipes him out completely. Doesn't get any of the ball in the box. Doesn't get any of the ball. That it's a penalty for me. It's a stonewall penalty. How that's been missed, I've got no idea. That might be the worst one this season.
Arsenal and VAR, they're just not compatible. Let's be honest.
Because Arsenal are a small club. No, you see it all the time, don't you? You see it with referees' decisions. It always goes to a bigger club, and because there's like 10 or 11 bigger clubs than Arsenal in the Premier League, it means they're not going to get as many decisions as they
10 or 11. 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Which are they?
Well, I'm saying anyone. I'm saying anyone above Arsenal right now, and I'm including Villa and Leeds as bigger clubs than them because I like them.
I mean, Plymouth Argyle are a bigger club than Arsenal, but you know.
This is very true.
No, the goal was great. The goal was great, and William played a good part in that as well.
Yeah, William was actually decent in this game. I heard. So.
Yep, he was. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
William's back.
William's back.
Just in time to play Chelsea.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
If they're gonna call me out in the chat, can they spell my name right, please?
One person called you Aaron, I think.
It's Niall, not Nail.
Nail. I think he's probably talking to someone else.
Yeah. So Pepe's goal. It was a good goal actually from Pepe. He had his moment of brilliance, so I guess he's not going to do anything for the next
good
3
goal,
months.
Great goal.
Really
Speaking of Pepe, this week on Tweets of the Week, I've got this Arsenal fan that's been on my neck about Pepe. It's brilliant. So tune in, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, Saturday night's Tweets of the Week. Yeah, great goal. Cuts inside, left foot, rocket, top corner. Good finish.
Yeah, really good finish. Really good finish.
Shame we can only turn up against a relegated side. Next.
A bit like that. A bit like Arsenal. Can't really do it in Europa, but they can do it against a relegated side. All good for them.
They're going to beat Chelsea now. That's what will happen. They'll beat Chelsea.
Bright. Nah, they ain't beating Chelsea, mate. Not with Arteta in charge.
Look, if winning the Champions League means we lose to Arsenal twice, I really don't care. So,
mate, you're not going to lose to Arsenal. It's Arteta. Versus Tuchel. That's like a 2-year-old toddler against Mike Tyson. Like, that's the levels.
Yeah, but every now and then a toddler can get a punch to your nads and you're done.
Wow. Okay. Gonna have a look at the Pereira goal now.
It hasn't happened to me before. I'm just saying, but
I don't believe that.
All right, Prime.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Gonna have a look at the Pereira goal now. Picks up the ball in his half, drives towards the box, and then there's a really nice finish at the end of it with his left foot into the bottom right corner. Prime, you wanted to speak about Gabriel's sort of defending in this. We spoke about it last night. Yeah.
I've been telling Arsenal fans about this Gabriel guy. People say he's better than Thiago Silva, better than Harry Maguire, better than Stones and Diaz. Okay. The counter-attack goal, right? Fine. He ends up beating what's his name? Ceballos from a bit of pace, and I guess that's fine. Whatever, he gets away from him. But from the halfway line, he has a free run onto the face, basically to the face of goal, and you see Gabriel just back off from him. I think that's criminal. Gabriel, in my opinion, should approach him. Whether or not he wins the ball is kind of irrelevant, but you just force Pereira into making a decision, and Pereira hopefully makes the wrong decision, and Arsenal end up getting the ball, and the ball goes out for a goal kick or something like that. But to just let him have that freedom and space, it doesn't matter what. I mean, yeah, Pereira is not on the same level as Greenwood or whoever, but anyone with that time and space, it makes the decision quite easy. And that could have cost Arsenal near the end because, let's not lie, West Brom had a few chances towards the closing stages of the game.
Can I just say, Velvet Ran has put the most fraudulent comment in the world in there. Now, I'm not a fan of Maguire, but that's just absolutely horrific.
Gabriel's not better than Maguire.
Maguire's stats came out today. Didn't he come first in the Premier League and pretty much everything?
Yeah.
I still don't.
If you're a stats
no,
person.
of course not. Maguire is underrated, but he's also not an £80 million defender. You know
That's
what I mean?
it. Yeah.
That's what it is.
I think if you compare the centre backs to some of the ones we've had in the past, I'm surprised we're not seeing games of like 20-0, to be brutally honest with you, because the defending in this league is just getting worse and worse and worse.
Well, I think every top team has had a beating this season, haven't they?
Yeah.
I would say, apart from maybe Chelsea.
Yeah, you might be right.
No, I'm sorry, but losing 5-2 to West Brom is definitely a beating.
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah.
I would have said losing 3-1 to Arsenal was worse, to be fair.
No, but you know what I mean. Like it's the profile of the teams that they're playing against. You ship 5 goals to West Brom. United lost 6-1 to Spurs. Liverpool lost 7-2 to Aston Villa. City lost 5 or 6 something
5-0 to
Leicester.
Yeah, so they've all had a beating. All of them had defensive calamities this season.
What beating have Arsenal had? They're not, but apparently they're a big club. I don't know.
Let's move on.
I'm just saying.
Free kick.
Yeah, Willian free kick. Very good free kick. Great finish.
No, before that though, the drive was good. You drove with the ball, had a shot which got blocked, and then he got tripped over. So he trailing leg got caught. Great free kick. Great finish.
Yeah, very good free kick. And it's his first goal for Arsenal, right? Willian? Yeah. Yep. So, good for him. Willian and Pepe both scoring. Good for
Arsenal had a whole season of beatings.
That's a fair point as well.
I think Arsenal get relegated within the next 5 years.
Really think so?
Nah, I can't see that.
I mean,
no, it will. If they keep Arteta as manager, they are going down, and I'll meet them in the Championship. Thumbnails already.
You know what's annoying? Yeah, if they didn't beat Chelsea 3-1, their bad run of form would have continued.
Exactly. So
we stopped Arsenal from getting relegated. We stopped Arsenal from getting relegated.
Fine, you shouldn't be saying that out loud because that just makes me more upset with Chelsea.
No, you did. You revived everyone.
And I've been quite liking Chelsea recently. I've been quite liking Chelsea. Well, yeah, I don't like him anyway, but...
Okay.
We're going to look at sort of the game of the week, and that was Chelsea versus Man City. But before we go into it, what were your views on the game? Start with Prime because he's the Chelsea fan.
What against City?
Mm-hmm.
First half quite, I guess, sluggish from Chelsea. It was a decent first half, and then near the end, just I don't know what is lapse in concentration, and City get their goal, it gets bumbled over the line basically. It's a poor touch from Aguero, and Sterling steals it. And then they get their penalty, which is it's soft, but it's smart play from Jesus, and I understand why it's given. Aguero tries to be smart. Panekas misses, and that keeps us in the game. Second half, we come out a moment of individual brilliance, to be fair, from Ziyech. We get that goal, and then we push for the winner. When
I thought only United relied on individual brilliance.
Everyone relies on. I mean, if City had individual brilliance, they would have beaten us. But I think. Listen, the formation Pep played, it was weird. He played with a 3. He played basically with 1 DM and 4 attacking players. Well, 6 attacking players actually.
He did a variation of Frank Lampard's tactic, but instead of having 2 in the middle, he had 1.
Exactly. It's weird, but again, Pep likes to overthink things. If they had beaten us, Pep would have done something like this in the final. He probably would have played like with so many attacking players, and I think he's going to do that. He's going to do something like that in the final as well. I I think he's going to end up playing a 3 at the back or something, or he'll end up playing with 2 DM. He'll overthink it, and that's how we'll beat him. Because
Maybe. We'll do a
he
Champions
doesn't-
League preview on the channel. We definitely got to do
Yeah.
that. Definitely got to
And
do
what
that.
The
annoys
thing is,
me, really,
Tuchel's got Pep's number now.
yeah.
Well, I'm not convinced on that
It's-
yet. We'll
yeah.
see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's a
Dude,
difficult
be a
one
good
because
final, be a good final.
both games, man. I know you guys made changes for this game, but both games,
Yeah.
City
I was just about.
didn't have their
I
first choice
I don't-
players.
I'm pretty sure
Well,
Chelsea played Billy
I
Gilmore,
don't-
didn't they?
Yeah, look, the thing is, I don't hear that because
There's
people
no Mount, right?
City have the best squad in the league, the best
No,
squad
no,
in the Premier
I
League.
hear that.
Pep
I
has
hear
built
that.
this team.
Yeah, let's not get into it. Let's get through the game. Let's get through the game. We'll do a preview
Yeah.
another day.
Well, yeah, this
We'll
is
get
the
lost in
first
it. We'll get
spot.
lost in it.
Number 4 is Christensen, isn't it? Because he was horrendous
Yes,
in this.
Andreas.
Yeah, this was really bad. Because you see, he
Yes.
starts off goal side, and he just misses the ball, and it just allows him to the ball to go past him, and he was easily beaten here. It's really, really poor from him.
He got caught on the bounce, didn't he? Great,
Yeah,
actually,
it's
very
really
good
bad.
from Gabby though. From Gabby to cross the ball in,
Yeah,
to touch out of his foot, feints a shot, puts it through Aspie's legs. Aguero, use your
Bad
left foot,
touch.
mate. Use your left foot.
yeah, really bad.
Bad touch with the outside of his right, and Sterling just comes in and just nicks it off him and puts it in the back of the net.
Yeah. So yeah, City go and goal up. I could, like Prime said, I don't think either team was particularly great in the first half. If you know what I mean, they sort of cancel each other out a little bit. Wasn't great to watch at all, to be honest with you. But you know, this is the penalty incident. It's actually it's quite funny. Yeah, but he does clip him. He does clip him at the back, if you know what I mean. Here.
Yeah, he does.
But it is smart play. Jesus is looking for it. It's smart play, so I can't really fault it.
Yeah.
Jesus is pretty much. He's pretty much just thought like, I'm not very good in front of goal, but now I can give somebody else a chance to have a shot. That's pretty much what he's done.
But what I praise,
He did get clipped though.
what I praise Tuchel for doing, second half, he, obviously Christensen got injured. Oh, no, never mind. Actually, when we get to that, I'll speak on.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about. We got to talk about this first because this is ridiculous.
Can I just say something actually? So you see Mendy. This is when he's like Groves just taking a shot. Mendy's actually moved towards the right side. He's actually on the floor already with his hand. Don't get me wrong. He had loads of time to actually get up, but I want to credit the fact that he didn't commit to that side and do a massive dive like a lot of goalkeepers do, because when someone does this sort of penalty, they usually really commit to one side. They're like, okay, I'm going to dive on this side, and that's it. And that's how they usually get beaten anyway with those sort of goals, because you usually get time to just pick it up. And that's what he did. He just got up straight away and was like, oh, okay, thank you for the ball, basically. But the decision from Aguero here, obviously, whenever you do these sort of penalties, it always looks bad when you don't score them, regardless.
Rachel,
but it was poor. It was a poor attempt at it.
I don't know why he's even trying that. I've got no idea when you're 1-0 up against a really good Chelsea side in great form, why you would even attempt that.
He's not
a great penalty taker though, Aguero. He has like Man City. Funnily enough, Man City. I remember Jan saying actually
they haven't got a great penalty taker. Yeah.
No, they haven't. She said they're good in penalty shootouts.
Imagine if the Champions League final goes to penalty shootout.
But that's the thing, though.
I bet Aguero does the same thing again. I bet he does the same thing again.
But Mendy's not good at penalties. I know he said that one, but I've seen him in a penalty shootout. He's not really the best. But we do have Kepa, who is good at penalties, to be fair.
Prime, I just think it's a ridiculous choice to make to even attempt that. I think he should be firing it in one corner or the other, regardless if it's saved. Just aim for a corner and go for that. Yeah. Just put it,
Even
pick a corner.
You can put it down the middle as long as you hit it with enough power, right?
I think you should aim for corners. My personal thing now is you should aim for corners because you've got a 50-50 chance, in my opinion.
I get that, but if you hit it down the middle, hit it low and hard down the middle, keeper ain't getting that. Or even if you
but most of the time when you hit it down the middle, goalkeepers, if they don't commit to one side, like say what Mendy did, they'll just save it with their feet accidentally.
Yeah.
They'll just spread out. That's how they usually save it.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
you're gonna go down the mid, if you're gonna go down the middle, hit it with power, hit it low, hard, not try and do whatever.
Smash it in the roof of the net if you're going to go down the middle.
All that.
Anything.
Yeah, all
Go.
that.
Just. I think the safest thing to do, especially for a player who hasn't played for a while, is just. I mean, like a run of games, by the way.
Yeah.
Just pick a corner and smash it in the bottom corner. Any corner. If no one's going to be angry if that gets saved.
Mm. No, I hear that.
it'll be classed as a good save, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the Ziyech goal, or the build-up to it. I just highlighted Azpilicueta because Rodri has the ball here, and he's coming over to that side, and Azpilicueta actually gets the ball off him, and he closes them down really well. The press, when players get into a certain area, it triggers the press from Chelsea, and they did this throughout the second half really, really well. And he wins the ball off of Rodri, and all of a sudden you can see the numerical advantage that they have. You know, there's three players around him; they're all working together here, and then you've got Timo Werner on the left side. It's really, really good from them, and we know what's it like. We saw it when we played against them. You know, when you win the ball back in these sort of areas, City do commit a lot of men forward, especially on the opposing side. So you know, you get a massive advantage there, like numerically, and Chelsea took advantage of that, and it led to the Ziyech finish. Good finish from Ziyech.
That's all about Pulisic for me. That goal's all about Pulisic. Like credit to Ziyech for the finish, but Pulisic has held up the ball. He's turned his so he's come to the ball from the inside out to wide, rolled the defender, then laid it off, and then he's darted in the box, taken the defender with him, created that space, all opened up for Ziyech, volley in the back of the net.
Yeah, it's nice. This is the thing, though, right? With Pulisic, I think he's a very, very good player. It's just a shame that he gets these injuries. He's actually a very good football player.
He's Chelsea's best attacker by a mile.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Will said, Indiana with the Pulisic prop. Don't gas me, my star boy.
I didn't know I was his star boy. It's a bit weird. It's a bit strange, but all right, whatever. Cool. I hope you've subscribed, Will.
You're a star man, Indiana. Star man.
What did you guys make of this incident, the penalty incident? Obviously, it wasn't given to City, but I thought Zoom, I think if the Gilmore one's given and this one's sort of given, it's very clumsy from Zuma.
Yeah. No, that's a penalty for me.
Yeah. What did you guys think?
Sterling should have been sent off anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No, I agree with that. Like, separate the incidents. Yeah. Was it a penalty, yes or no?
I don't think. I think it's more just running and Sterling begging for a penalty because he can't actually play football.
No, but the thing is though, like obviously, I'm sure everyone here has played football, right? When you have the momentum, when you're running with the ball, it's very difficult when someone comes from behind. To actually stay on your feet anyway. In which case, that person has impeded you, and that is a foul, regardless. Because if Zuma's not there, he doesn't just fall over, does he?
I feel like Sterling has slowed down for it though. He's definitely begging for it. Like he's definitely begging for that penalty. He's slowed down, hasn't he? Like he's slowed down. He's clearly looking for a penalty because he's got the football IQ of a toddler.
I don't think he slowed down for it. I don't think he slowed down for it. If you watch what's happened, he's trying to get the ball under control. So I think it's Foden,
that's hard enough
right?
As it is for Sterling. Let alone doing that
Foden
while
dinks the
running.
ball over the top, and Sterling actually it drops behind Sterling, and he manages to flick the ball forward with his back heel, and he's trying to get his feet right again. And that's a fact. Yeah, that's a penalty. Zuma's all over him. Zuma's literally on horseback there. He's all over him. That's a penalty. But City can't complain because they were given a penalty and they didn't score.
Yeah,
they can't complain about it.
I think it's soft. I mean, if it's given, then fair enough, and I won't complain. But I think it could go either way, and City fans can't use that as an excuse why they didn't win the game.
No, absolutely not. They were horrendous in the second half.
No, they just need to blame Pep Guardiola, and then jobs are good, isn't it?
Rachel, do you want to talk about this?
Go on.
Do you want to talk about this winner before I speak about what Tuchel did in the second half?
Yeah, sure. So if I remember correctly, it was Callum Hudson-Odoi played it towards Timo Werner, and obviously you can't show it in a still image. But when the ball goes towards Timo Werner, he lets it slow down a little bit, and then he accelerates. I don't know if you notice it, Indiana. The ball slows down, and then he plays it past them, and he's really really quick with it because we know Timo Werner is very explosive. And he just gets it past the defender, plays the ball into a dangerous area for the cutback. And obviously, it was a really weird finish. It wasn't like a clean finish from Alonso, but he gets the winner. But yeah,
Again, that was all about Hudson-Odoi, really. And
a really good pass.
Alonso's nicked his goal.
Mm.
That's the first thing. I was like, wow. Alonso, you've actually nicked his goal. He's turned from the right hand side. He's drove forwards with the ball. He's slipped in Timo Werner, and he's gone for the returns. The ball's been crossed in from the right hand side from Timo Werner. He's gone for the return, and Alonso's came in and nicked it. But yeah,
You know what's crazy though? Because it wasn't a clean finish, it could have gone anywhere. And if that didn't go in, obviously, like from a Chelsea point of view, getting a draw away at City is a good result anyway. But yeah, it could have just cost them 3 points.
It wasn't a clean finish because Alonso has decided to tackle Hudson-Odoi. he's literally gone. Look, he's in a split second. He's thought both of us are sitting on the bench most of the time. I want to play more. You're not having this. That's pretty much what he's done.
Do you know what though? I like to see that though. I like to see his passion and his energy to try and get that. Like, the fact that he's tackled his own player to do it is even more funny. But just on Sterling, I've worked out who he is. He's a B-Tech, Dan James.
Oh my god.
But you really don't.
Okay.
Prime, do you want to make your point before we move on to the next game?
Something I praised Tuchel for doing in the second half. He takes off Kante, which is a big call to make, especially with how much Chelsea fans and the media love N'Golo Kante, and if we had lost this game or even got a point from it, then the whole thing would have been, why do you take off Kante away to Manchester City? They're going to overrun us and yada yada. He brings on Jorginho to start controlling the game a bit more, which is actually very much a good thing considering the only real midfielder City had in there was Rodri. And because of the control of the possession that we had, it allowed us to dictate the game a lot more, and we were able to come into the game. And if Ziyech doesn't step up with that goal, and I know it's great, Pulisic essentially creates the equalizer anyway. But if that doesn't happen, I don't see us winning the game. I see us drawing it anyway. I see us finding a goal from somewhere anyways. But if that moment doesn't happen, I don't see us coming back and winning the game.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I thought you guys were brilliant in the second half, to be honest with you. I think what was really impressive was the sustained pressure you put on Manchester City's defence to the point where they actually had quite a lot of men in their own half, like quite deep in their own half, which is it's very rare that teams do that for a sustained period.
You definitely noticed Tuchel noticed the left side of their defence was utter crap. You could just see that by him literally going, I know what I'm going to do. Callum Hudson-Odoi, come here, mate. I just want you to run at that left back. Just run at him.
Yeah, he had to bring Zinchenko on, didn't he?
Yeah, just because that left-hand side was just being dominated because Benjamin Mendy and Ake just looked like off their feet. They just... And this is the thing. Pep is now starting to disrespect the Premier League as well as the FA Cup. Like, this man is just disrespectful, I tell you.
But the thing is, in the first half, we were trying to... Pulisic was playing on the right-hand side to attack Mendy. But because Pulisic is not the best on the right, it just wasn't working. Yeah. And that's why in the second half we switched it, and then Callum came on eventually, and that helped us kill the game.
You just wanted someone to run it because they, especially in the second half, because they're tired. I mean, they've barely played anyway, so they're knackered as it is, or not match sharp. You've got Callum Hudson-Odoi running at you. That's probably the last thing you want as a footballer, especially if you're Ake or Mendy. And the fact that I actually had to bring on Zinchenko. But the bit I don't get, right, is Pep's all about this control of possession, right? Always likes the ball. How are you doing that with one midfielder? Like, yeah, I'm just asking for a friend, because when Frank Lampard tried to play two and this whole hexagon weird ass thing that didn't actually resemble too much, you didn't control possession because you didn't have the bodies in there. Like, he's basically just gone, I'm going to give up the ball. I'm not going to have the ball. I'm just going to put all my players around them and play this weird, like, whatever formation it was. Pep is just in.
I figured with that lineup, when it first came out, I thought, oh, Pep is gonna try and play on the counter attack, and especially going 1-0 up, it would have made more sense to play on the counter attack. The pace of Jesus, Aguero, Cancelo, and Mendy breaking against us could have ripped us apart, but he didn't even do that.
They're not used to sustaining pressure, City, are they? But anyway, is what it is. We'll move on. But before that, quickly, I think it was a bit different for Frank because Tuchel now, don't get me wrong, these are worlds apart, these two managers. But also, makes a massive difference when you have a fit Pulisic, a Timo Werner with a run of games, Callum Hudson-Odoi with a few games under his belt, and looks like he's on form. Ziyech is now back in form. Havertz is now back in form. You've got more attacking threats. So, but don't get me wrong, the midfield is definitely better.
You just look at how both managers are playing. Like Tuchel has noticed that there's a huge issue with the Chelsea defence leaking goals. He's just come in and shored it up. Like the thing,
Rudiger was injured for a lot of that though under Frank, but but is what it is. I still stick to when he came in. It was Frank Ball with energy, so that's where I am.
Yeah, he's not going to change everything straight away. So they're still going to play a bit of Frank Ball.
If you're winning the Champions League with Frank Ball with energy, I mean that says something.
No, he's not. We're not doing that now. We're saying in the beginning because it's not possible for a coach to come in and fundamentally change your style.
Don't ruin my narrative.
They still look much better defensively under Tuchel when he came in.
Yeah, because he played 3 centre backs and he had 2 holders. It's going to be better than playing 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, but
when you've got a horrible centre back.
But that's what a manager does. Like a manager plays the team's strengths and not their weaknesses. So Ollie's a prime example. It's why he plays double pivot, because he knows that's the strength of your team. It covers up the weaknesses. That's all Tuchel's done. Is he's come in, spotted a weakness, and he's made it into a strength. It's like that's the difference between Frank Lampard and a Thomas Tuchel, and even a Frank and an Ollie, is that these managers look within their squad, they see a weakness, and they actually cover that weakness to try and get a strength out of it. It's just the difference between managers. It's like Arteta. He's hopeless because he's not looking at his team's weaknesses.
Yeah, well, Arsenal's weaknesses are very special. Let's be real.
Ollie gets some top 6.
Okay, West Ham. Let's go.
Weaknesses.
West Ham versus Everton. This is the first goal. Nice ball played into Calvert-Lewin. Nice run. And very good finish as well. This game ended 1-0. There aren't a lot of highlights. I had to try and cut down everything as much as I could, because otherwise we'd be here all night, which is looking like happening anyway, to be honest with you. But do you know what the thing is? What I saw in this game was that there were chances on both sides. I think West Ham had some chances, not great ones. It was very evenly matched, if you know what I mean. It was 1-0, very close game. But I think West Ham I think that's it for top 4, if I'm honest with you. If I'm being honest, unless Chelsea go for a calamity, or Leicester. I think Leicester will just bounce back, if I'm honest with you. I know people saying, Brendan Rodgers is a bottle job and that, but I just think they'll be all right, to be honest with you. I think top 4 is over for West Ham. I don't know what you guys think about it, but
Chelsea can't bottle top 4. I don't think
it depends.
Leicester will.
It depends on what happens tomorrow. Like if there's let's be fair with what Ollie said in the press, you're rotating against Leicester and then going full strength against Liverpool. I can only imagine why. Somehow I feel like Ollie really dislikes Liverpool, so he's just gonna maybe bend over a little bit for Leicester, take a loss, then go beat Liverpool
He
at Old
hasn't really
Trafford.
got a choice now. He hasn't.
I know he hasn't got much of a choice.
Man
but
United will never field a weak side against Liverpool, even if you had the
no,
Champions League final.
I
It's
know,
never going to happen.
I know that, but it's just it's the way it's all panning out, isn't it? That Ollie is because it was that time he was asked when he was Cardiff manager about Liverpool and something. He went, I couldn't give a toss. You can just sense that hatred. He is definitely, if he can sabotage Liverpool getting top 4, he's going to do what he can for it. It would not surprise me if you lose tomorrow. It will not surprise me at all. And Ollie will be smiling. I guarantee you. Ollie will have the great big grin.
We're home as well, so it'll be.
Oh, you're
drop points.
You're screwed.
Yeah. So this one, ooh, not bad. This is the Wolves v Brighton game. I didn't actually watch much of this game. I was sort of in and out. So if any of you watched it, appreciate your input. But we're gonna have a look at the first goal now from Lewis Dunk. Corner comes in, and it's a very good header from him into the bottom right corner, if I remember correctly. Good header. He climbs really well, overpowers, and good finish from him. Cool. This was the penalty incident in the box. I think it was a corner that came in from the other side this time. It was not given. They were sort of wrestling. He's trying to spear him here, actually. But I don't know if you guys saw it. Did you think it was a penalty?
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Can't lie. Did not see it.
Fair. I mean, we've seen them given.
I can't even tell you what day it was.
Well, yeah. I mean, when I saw it earlier when I was doing this presentation sort of thing, we've seen penalties given for this. He's grabbing onto him. He's literally just trying to spear him down, sort of thing. But I can also understand why it wasn't, because some referees just don't give penalties for this. It's sort of a very hit and miss thing, isn't it, when it comes to scraps in the box? So, sort of is what it is with that, I guess. And then he got sent off. His son got sent off after this, after he scored, obviously. Fabian Silva was a bit of a nightmare in this game for Brighton, to be honest with you. He was involved in more or less everything. But you can see he's grabbed his shirt and Fabian Silva's gone down. I think last man and all that. I think from what I've been told, last man isn't actually in the rule book. I guess now you can let us know about that. But
it's not last man. It's denying a clear goal scoring opportunity nowadays. It's not like last man. It's like you've got to be denying a clear goal scoring opportunity.
Yeah, well, he was, to be fair, because Fabian Silva was going to be one-on-one with the keeper. So I guess it's the right decision. So definitely
basically, it is last man. They've just made it a bit more, techie.
That's fair. This is the Traore goal. He plays a 1-2 with Fabian Silva, and it's a good finish from him. Like I said, Fabian Silva was involved in quite a bit in this game. So, it was pretty good from him. He had quite a good performance from what I saw.
Fabio Silva is definitely one to watch for the future.
Do you guys rate Fabio Silva?
Yeah.
I hope he absolutely kills it for Wolves and Man United pick up Jimenez.
I think I don't look, and the reason why everyone's not rating Fabio Silva right now is because he was never intended to be playing these many games for Wolves.
No.
You think he was meant to come in as a backup to Jimenez, learn the Premier League, have that time to adapt, where he's been basically thrown in at the deep end.
Donny van de Beek is all he's supposed to be doing right now.
Yeah, sort of but no, I definitely think in the future Fabio Silva, once he gets a bit of muscle on him, which he's doing that to a degree now. He needs it's a bit like when Greenwood first broke in. He just needs to, build muscle, and then he can start to get the ball.
Yeah.
He just needs to build muscle, and then he can start to get the ball. He just needs to build muscle, and then he can start to get the ball. He just needs to build muscle, and then he can start to get the ball. He just needs to build muscle, and then he can start to get the ball. He just needs to build muscle, and then he can start to get the ball. He just needs to build muscle, and then he can start to get the ball. He just needs to build muscle, and then he can start to get the ball. He just needs to build muscle, and then he can start to get the ball. He just needs to build muscle, and then he can start to get the ball. He just needs to build muscle, and then he can start to get the ball. He just needs to build muscle, and then he can start to get the ball. He just needs to build muscle, and then he can start to get the ball. He just needs to build muscle, and then he can start to get the ball. He just needs to build muscle sort of grow a bit. He needs to develop into his body and get a bit of muscle. I think once you see him doing all of that, learn the physicality of the Premier League, I think he'll be fine.
That's fair. Very fair. This is the Gibbs White goal, 90th minute. If I remember correctly, ball's on the left side. He goes for a cross across the face of goal, but it hits the back of the defender's leg, and it goes into that sort of the centre of the box. And then a shot is blocked from Gibbs White, and then he gets another chance at it, and he scores in the 90th minute. So it was a good finish from him, to be fair. And obviously Wolves go on to win the game. So good result for Wolves, and really a nothing game. Nothing's really going to come out of it for these two teams, are there? So Brighton is safe. Obviously, the three teams have been relegated. So good result.
It's essentially an end of season friendly.
Yeah, exactly. Right, Liverpool versus Southampton. Did anyone watch this game?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did. Did actually watch this game. Not all of it. I was in and out whilst it was on.
I watched the first half of it. Liverpool were dominant. Southampton had a couple of moments, to be fair to them, though, but mostly Liverpool were dominant.
Well, I mean, Southampton haven't exactly been a force this season, have they? Really?
To be fair, when you look at the stats, it was a much more even game than it looked. Much more.
Well, then the scoreline suggests. That's what I mean. Southampton did have a couple of chances. I think there was one where what's his name? Carl Walker-Peters on the right side. He gets the ball into space, doesn't he? And he plays it across. And Allison comes out and he sweeps and he prevents the ball from going in, which was good for him. They did have those sort of chances.
They did split the Liverpool defence open a couple of times. Especially, I thought second half they were better. I thought they were better in the second.
The Mane goal was good though. Mane goal was good.
That was a very good goal. It's about time we learned where the net was.
Salah's not a creator.
It was a good ball in from Salah, it was a very good ball in. And do you know what I like? Mane started off offside. He got back onside. A lot of players these days have this disgusting habit of just trying to ride their luck, even though there's technology involved.
Did you see the Sky Sports thing where they showed you the view from Salah?
No.
Oh, I think it'll probably be on their YouTube. You need to see that, because that will make you appreciate absolutely the level of assist that is. Like, he can't even see where Mane is. He's basically putting the ball in, expecting Mane to be there.
Mane always makes that run, though. Mane's always there.
Yeah, but that's what
Mane's
I mean. But
he can't
see. He can't see where Mane is. But the fact that he's able to do it, and them two just work off each other so well, don't they?
That's fair.
Thiago in this game looked like he was playing with his kids, like playing football with his children in the garden. He's way too good for Liverpool, man. I'm sorry, he is.
It's not that he's too good for Liverpool. He is. He's too good to be in sort of a struggling side where he can't play his game and express himself the way we expect him to. You know, they have had a lot of they've struggled this season for various reasons, as we've spoken about many times. I'm sure.
Don't mention injuries. They're always
talking about
goddamn.
It's not, but that's what I mean. It's a multitude of reasons, obviously.
Can we talk about Salah's chance as well? Like the ball over the top to Salah. He's pretty much in on goal, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't shoot. Tries to take it around the keeper. Defenders sit in, loses the ball. Like, he does that a lot.
He's actually he gets a lot of chances and he does miss a lot of them. Salah. He does.
A question for you guys. Since you're all English, do you think Nat Willops is in with a shout for the England squad, the Euros?
No, it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
There's about 5 or 6 different centre backs I'd be taking above Nat Phillips.
Cool. So that's going to make tweets of the week interesting then this week. That's fine. Thank you. I just thought I'd ask.
Next.
I'll take Lewis Dunk above Nat Phillips.
That's fair.
Connor Cody's going above Nat Phillips.
Yeah.
He genuinely is. And Mings.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
The question is, do you take Eric Dyer over Nat Phillips?
Eric Dyer is going anyway.
Yeah,
we
he's
know that's
going,
going to
mate.
happen. There's no
He's-
point debating it.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know?
not sure he's going as a centre back though.
Really wish he wouldn't, but yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
Tottenham just need to sign Southgate. Jesus Christ, just get it done. Like, we all know that Tottenham really need Gareth Southgate to fix that club. Like, we all can see it. Like, any Englishman can tell you, Gareth Southgate, do you know what, Tottenham fans? If you're listening, Gareth Southgate, he wins you the treble. He is that good. He wins you the
Okay,
treble.
let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, there's no point.
Right,
There's no
Gareth
point.
Southgate
I'm
wins.
trying to
Let's move on.
convince them to
Slides.
take it.
Let's move on.
England.
Next slide.
No. Keep Southgate. Keep Southgate.
Next slide,
England.
please.
No.
No, this is the Thiago goal. 90th minute. Good finish from Thiago.
I don't think it is a good finish.
It is what it is, you know.
It should be First of all, that needs to be defended better from Southampton.
Yeah.
Second of all, what's his name? Forster. He's a better goalkeeper than that. Foster. He's a better goalkeeper than that. He should be
I can't
saving
remember.
that.
Did it take a
I'm with
deflection
Prime.
or did it move?
I'm with Prime. I think the initial touch and the set was really good, but the shot itself, that's savable.
No, I'm
with
asking. You're watching it now, right? Was it a deflection or did the ball move when he shot? If that makes sense.
It was no deflection, but it bounced just before Forrester could get it. I think if it didn't bounce, he probably would have saved it, but still, he should be doing better.
Yeah, he's angry about that one.
No,
He's angry about that one.
That's fair enough. It was 2-0, quite comfortable for Liverpool. Southampton, there was an incident actually where they're playing out from the back, and I believe it was Allison who actually played it to Shea Adams.
Yeah,
Of course it's Allison. Of course it's Allison.
Really, poor shot actually from Shea Adams. He should have done a lot better.
This is why I don't rate Shea Adams as. I know loads of people rave about him, and I don't mean to be rude to Scottish, but they're probably Scottish. But he's not that good. He's not that good. Let's be real. Like, at best, he is. I don't even know who to compare him to. Like, he's just not very good. Like, he gets.
Who are we talking about?
Shea Adams.
Shea Adams.
Shea Adams.
Yeah, you're right, but again, he's
Harvey Barnes.
He's young, isn't he? So it's one of those things where he's going to grow and learn. Shea Adams. How old is he?
You didn't just compare Shea Adams to Harvey Barnes, did you?
I did.
Oh my god!
I think they're on the same level.
Okay, he's 24. So it could be one of those things where he's just a late bloomer. I think he still has time.
I think that's harsh on Harvey Barnes. Like, I don't think he's as good as what people think he is.
Harvey
Barnes
Barnes
is
is
Harvey
career.
Barnes. I'm not talking about Harvey Barnes. Talking about Adams.
No.
So Indiana did.
Indiana.
Compared Indiana.
I think they're the same level.
I that is insulting to Harvey Barnes. Like, Harvey Barnes is clear of Shea Adams. Clear.
I'm not sure.
But,
I think Shea Adams will surprise you.
Harvey Barnes is ridiculously underrated. Ridiculously underrated.
I don't think he's underrated, Harvey Barnes. I think he's had a very, very good season. There's still things he needs to work on before you can say he's a good player. I think he's a growing player, but I don't think he's anything special, Harvey Barnes. I think he's had a good season, to be fair to him. He's nothing special.
If
he does it again next.
Valve off now. You've done it now.
What did it say?
Prime, why didn't you copy that Tierney goal if it's that easy then?
Oh,
yeah,
Prime. That is such
See you in the playground tomorrow.
That is
you know why I wouldn't? Because I'm not a supposed world-class midfielder that was brought in to be better than Pogba.
That is such a poor argument, Valve. Like, that is shocking.
I mean, if people said I was better than Pogba and I was doing stuff like this, then yeah, probably, but I'm not. So, the Allison pass back wasn't good, so he had to get rid quickly. Yeah, but Allison's supposed to be a world-class goalkeeper, so don't use that as an excuse.
Anyway, Palace, the Palace game.
1 second, sorry.
Why don't I go to Anfield and do that? I'd rather play for Arsenal.
Oh gosh.
Let's move on. It's
All right.
getting very early in the morning, very late in
Yeah.
the morning. It's the morning.
It's Sheffield United versus Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
I thought Eze was very good in this
yeah.
game, to be honest with you.
Eze's got great feet, you know.
Yeah, he does.
Great feet.
Yeah. He's a good
If
player.
if I speak about this kid, I'll be in trouble.
Nah,
Right, no one's saying he's world class. He's a talented player, and he played well in this game.
I've heard people say he should play for Man United.
Yeah, that would be KJ, right?
No,
Oh,
United
not
fans.
KJ. I'm surprised at that because I
Yeah,
like. He's a
KJ
big
likes
fan.
Eze. He likes
I
St.
love
Maximin
Eze.
as well.
I think
he's good, but
I
he's
think
not that good.
I actually think Eze will be a better player than Maximum, but okay.
Yeah,
I don't
it's like-
rate
Eze,
him.
No, I'm not.
I don't
I'm
rate
not-
Maximin either.
Yeah,
I
but
think
he's
Eze
skillful.
is.
Oh, sorry, Glenn.
I think Eze is one of those players. I mean, he's probably young, so he might still have time to develop. But because he's got pace and time, the way Crystal Palace play, because he has that time and space running, essentially playing on that counter attack all the time, it's much easier for him. But if he has to play for Man United, where he has to play against low blocks all the time, I don't think he can do that.
Even Dan
disagree.
James would look world class in this Crystal Palace side counter attack.
No. The reason why I disagree is that when Eze gets the ball, you can give it to him in a tight space and he'll get out of it. You can give it to him in space and you're usually in trouble anyway in that situation. He's good in both situations.
I agree.
He sees a pass very well as well, and he usually executes it. So that's always something that you want against a low block, for example. He's intelligent with his runs and his movement's actually decent in the midfield. So
And he can turn with both feet on the ball, man. He's so good.
I'd like to see him at like a Villa or an Everton. I think that's quite a good level for him.
Yeah, I'm not saying that United should just go and buy him. There's other places in the team that we need first before we get him. But I think he's a very talented player. His attributes are very good, but whether he can develop that into outputs and consistency is a different thing, isn't it?
Pressing is good as well.
That is,
But yeah, he picks up the ball around the halfway line, drives a bit towards the box. He's sort of in the half space on the right side, drives towards the centre, plays the ball to Benteke. Shot hits one of the defenders, can't remember who, and then goes into the net. So it was only the second minute, but it was a good bit of play from Eze, and Benteke gets his goal. So good bit of play there. The second, obviously Eze scores as well. Actually, 88th minute. I don't know if any of you saw the highlights for this, but he actually picks up the ball very close to his box, and he literally drives from there.
I think that's the third or fourth time he made a similar type of run. So he just not one wide of the post. In the first half.
But he's doing that breaking on the counter attack. That's my point.
I understand that. But
no, Prime, you're not. I don't think you're watching him.
It's still a.
I do watch him. I've not denied his talent. I do think he is very good, but it's when I hear things like he can play for Man United. I'm like, no, he can't.
I don't think he's there yet.
Yeah. That's fair enough. You know what people like on Twitter? They overrate players.
If he carries on progressing like he is, he will be a
Prime. Has your world-class goalkeepers won a Golden Glove, Yashin Trophy, or got into the team of the season and more? No. So in the worlds of Nico or Milano, shush. I mean, Petr Cech. But okay.
Let's move on.
Next game is Leicester v Newcastle.
Northern Irish Poch. Correcting myself.
Wow.
Wait, no, hold on. Poch is just an Argentinian Brendan Rodgers. Don't do that.
That's fair. Anyone watch this game?
No.
So did you know?
Yeah, I did.
So did you know?
What did you make of the game, Indiana?
Leicester asleep. Newcastle, high energy, high intensity, pressing. I think Steve Bruce got everything right. Leicester, huge off day for them.
Very
bottling it again. Yeah, very complacent. Not on it at all.
Mm.
The goals were just. I mean, the first goal, Willock. That was. I'm just watching it now.
Yeah, well,
What was the kind of set the tone for the game? Really.
poor from Sayonchu, like really, really poor touch, and then Willock gets the ball off of him.
Yeah, he literally presses him, doesn't he? So he presses. The ball goes back. Sayonchu's trying to take a touch and step over the ball. Willock just pockets him, puts it in the back of the net. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really complacent from Sayonchu, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Remember correctly, it was he turned, didn't he? It was like he sort of didn't realise.
Yeah, he went to do a turn.
Yeah, and then got dispossessed. It was really, really poor from him. It was a good finish from Willock.
Mm-hmm.
Next goal was from a set piece. Who scored that? Good header, but
it was a good corner.
Yeah, good corner. Yeah, but really dangerous area. Goalkeeper's on his line, doesn't move. Yeah. Just
that. To be fair, that was one of those where the attacking players pretty much got the better of the defensive player.
He climbed quite high up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Good in there. Yeah, absolutely. This one was. Who was it that scored this one? I think it was Wilson, Callum Wilson, who scored this one actually. Balls played. I think it was Matt Ritchie who played the ball into. It was a good ball. Picks up the ball on the left side, and very good finish from Wilson. It was Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was it Matt Ritchie who played the ball into him?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a good ball from him. He was key in this goal and the next goal as well, Matt Ritchie. Good pass from him.
He's key for Newcastle. He really is.
Yeah,
he's a player who loves a tackle, isn't he? Matt Ritchie. He's like do you know what he is? He's like No, I'm not going to say it. Let's move on.
Okay, what were you going to say? Are you pulling a prime on us now?
No. Yeah, maybe.
Matt Ritchie is just a poor man's Ryan Giggs.
Okay, we may kick him.
That's rubbish. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Wait, hold on. How is that an insult to Ryan Giggs?
He's nothing like Ryan. It's not about insult to Ryan Giggs. It just doesn't make any sense what you said. But yeah, Wilson's.
I got another one for you, Prime. Football's airplanes. Yeah. Anyway, move on.
What? I don't know what you said. I didn't know what you said.
Let's just keep going.
What did you say?
Okay, Matt Ritchie plays a ball into Callum Wilson.
Yeah.
He shoots. I think it hits the post and comes back out. He gets the ball in a tight area and gets the ball in. Decent finish from that sort of.
Yeah,
angle.
1-2 off the post. Showboating.
That last comment from Vibes FC is horrific. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're not
that last one.
Okay.
That one up. We're not putting that one up.
Okay. Yeah. Leicester get a goal back on the 80th minute from Albrighton. I think it was O'Brien. Jamie, I can't remember who crossed it in. Jamie Vardy picks up the ball in the middle of the goal. He's got his back to goal, so he plays it across to Albrighton, who finishes really, really well.
Yeah, cuts across the ball, top right hand corner finish, good goal.
Yeah, very good goal.
But it don't mean anything now, does it?
No, it doesn't. 10 minutes to go. And Ian actually gets a goal as well, adding to his goal tally for the season. He's finishing strong.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He gets the ball on the right side, drives towards the box.
Wait, hold on.
11 goals since February, start of February.
The sitter, the Maximin. Can we speak about the sitter, about the Maximin missed?
No, we can do. I couldn't put it into
can
this,
do it. He missed the sitter.
Yeah, no, I'm just
one with
saying.
the keeper.
I'm just saying if that's other strikers, if that's other strikers in the league, they're getting stick for it, you know, like Firmino and Lacazette and Aubameyang. But
the thing about St. Maximin,
Werner has missed plenty of sitters and no one's complained anymore.
No one mentioned Werner. No one mentioned Werner. Don't do that. No one mentioned Werner. No one. He's a Champions League finalist. Don't do that.
Is this the last slide, Rachel?
Yeah, just going to have a quick look at the Premier League table. Obviously, 3 teams relegated. No one can get relegated. Fulham 10 points behind Southampton.
Yeah.
With their defeat, with 3 games to go, not possible. So, they've been relegated. Yeah, Manchester City is just a matter of time, really. I don't think any miracles are going to happen there.
No, not at all. And Arsenal are safe, everyone. Arsenal are safe. Listen, thank you, everybody who's watched. Please smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Tomorrow is Tuesday, which means Next Gen. And what else on a Tuesday? New show tomorrow, right?
Yeah, audience show.
New show tomorrow night. So please check that out around 10:30. Go and watch today's stream. Niall's show, the EFL show. Go and watch that back on the channel, please. Go and smash a like on that for us as well.
The fans love me.
Yeah, it's always a funny show, entertaining show. Really good to do loan watch on there as well. Niall looks at the players on loan from the Premier League in Leagues 1 and 2, which is great as well. But thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. I'm really sorry about Prime's hat. I hope you all take. What's that?
Check out Tweets of the Week as well, please. It was a great show, and I really enjoyed it.
Tweets, yeah. Prime really enjoyed himself. Tweets of the Week with all the different accents.
And also, we apologize for the disturbance that is in